Anglers Extra.
Hi, and welcome back to White House Field. It's time for the Manager's Show, part of the Anglers Extra pregame show. I'm Diamond Side with John Schiffner. John, a lot to be happy about in last night's game. Home runs from Pat Valaika, Andrew Knapp at his team leading fourth, and Louis Lekich and Dace Keim combined on a 3-hit shutout. What was the thing you were most pleased to see in last night's win against Falmouth?
The 5 runs to no runs, that was fine. You know, as long as we had more runs than the other team, I'm happy. But you hit it all in the head. We swung the bat okay, showed a little power. Clutch, real clutch home run by Napper. Louis didn't have his best stuff. His command was a little off, but it was good enough when we needed it. And he came through with some great pitches both in the fourth and fifth inning. And Dace was almost unhittable, so that's a real good ball game. We played solid defense behind them, so good ball game all the way around. Very, very pleased.
Andrew Knapp hitting 300 now, and a switch hitter who's hit a pair of home runs from both sides of the plate. How important is it when you're a switch hitter to be able to do that from both sides?
Well, it's impressive. Right off the bat, it's very impressive. And, he's got a real chance. I mean, he's a real good baseball player, and it's exciting to watch. Guys like him, obviously you love every one of these kids, but guys like him are the reason you coach. To see guys like him really, take off and have a tremendous summer, and, hope he can take it to next spring and then to the draft, because I think he's a pretty special player.
What do you mean when you talk about guys like him? What is it about Knapp that you love about coaching him?
Well, he's a baseball player first and foremost. I mean, there's athletes that play the game of baseball, and then there's baseball players who play the game of baseball, and he is a baseball player, a team leader. He's got the savvy. He's like another coach. I mean, he's a special player, and I'm not trying to single him out ahead of a lot of the other. We've got a lot of guys on this team that are in the same boat. I mean, Valaika's like that, Pinder's like that. Lots of guys are like that. I mean, they're in a special category. Their natural makeup is going to take them a long way in the sport.
You talked about it to me a little bit after last night's game about how well your team plays against other good teams. Last night, Falmouth was leading the West, and you've played this Harwich team who you're playing tonight a couple of times, and a 2-run win and a 1-run loss. Why does your team play so well when they're playing competition like that?
Well, I don't think there's any difference between them. Everybody in the league's the same. There is no team that you can really say is hands down out of it. Because of the 4 teams in each division make it, there's nobody out of it. And even though Hyannis and Bourne have both started off very, very slowly, they're back in the race now. So it's not that these teams are that much better than the other teams. They jumped out to a quick start, but if you notice their record, they're coming back to the pack. So it's going to be a real lot of fun the next month.
Moving to a little bit last year, this was the last day for Major League Draft picks to sign. Richie Schaefer just signed with the Tampa Bay Rays. And what do you think when you look back on this day and you see all of your former players signing and becoming professional ball players?
Oh, I'm really proud. I mean, really, really proud that they've, part of their career was here with us. It's a special moment when you sign that contract, and I hope most of the guys remember that the summer they had here, and they'll remember it for a long, long time. Tell their kids and grandkids about it, because it's special to us to see them, take it to the next level and know that we were a small part of it.
Do you have any fun memories about guys signing or anything in particular in your 20 years?
Oh, sure. Evan Longoria calling me up, telling me that he had just agreed to a $3 million signing bonus, and he had a few pops, and he was the happiest guy on the planet, and I was so excited and thrilled that he had just took the time to call the old skipper. That was a lot of fun, and I've had a lot of guys call over the years, draft day or the day after, just, thanking me and thanking, Chatham for the experience and the opportunity to play here in the Cape League and help them to get to that next level. And it's a special time, and it's so neat to turn on the TV and see the guys, and know that you had a small part of it.
What does it mean to you when these guys continue to stay in contact even long after they're just a couple of months in Chatham?
It's special, and that tells you, I think, what we as a coaching staff and the CAA and the town of Chatham has meant to these kids. It's special. I tell people all the time that I don't know, lots of teams stay in touch with lots of their players. I know that for a fact, and that's the way it should be. But I want to count up how many teams have had 5 of their players come back and get married in Chatham. That's pretty special.
Chatham hopes to continue that tradition of getting players drafted, but first, a good regular season. They look to improve to 13-11. Back to Chris Fitzgerald with the rest of the Anglers Extra pregame show.